Last week I shot a stripped down acoustic version of Lady Gaga's new single Abracadabra, which I am totally obsessed with. I love her, but this song, I don't know, there's something different about this song. I really like it. And I got a couple messages from people asking me to do a breakdown of how I recorded it in my studio. So here we go, let's do it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm a full-time gigging singer-songwriter. I play 100+ shows a year. I produce music, and I love to educate people. So if this video is helpful to you in any sort of way, I'd super appreciate it if you give it a like, consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments what you want to know about, because I'm happy to make as many videos like this as you want to see. And it just really helps me know what you're looking to learn. If you're new to recording, I'd really like to encourage you to start with whatever gear you have. When I first started, I had an Mbox audio interface and an SM58 and Pro Tools and my computer, and that's about it. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to start someplace. In order to be here where I am now, I had to start there. So don't let watching YouTube videos with like lots of fancy gear that's maybe expensive and you're not really sure how to use yet, deter you from just starting to record. Recording is such a creative, fun process. It can be super frustrating, don't get me wrong, but if you don't start not knowing anything, you won't get to this point where I'm about to teach you something. Like I could have never taught what I'm about to teach you in this video even 5 years ago. So just start with the basics. It's all good. There are a lot of great YouTube videos out there teaching people who are just starting to learn how to record, but if you want to know my hot take on it, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video for you. To show you how I recorded this stripped down version of Abracadabra, I'm going to go over the gear that I used to do it, how I connected the gear, and then I'm going to open up Pro Tools and show you what it looks like inside Pro Tools. First, a stereo matched pair of AKG C414 microphones. What does it mean if they're stereo matched? It means they were made next to each other. So they match in sensitivity, usually in frequency, and you will have less phasing issues. Those are a whole lot of audio terminology things that I'm not going to cover in this video, but when they're stereo matched, they just play a little bit nicer together. They are more expensive to buy as a stereo pair, but the reason I chose to buy these for my studio is because you can use these microphones on literally anything. I use them on guitars, I use them on vocals, I use them on drums, I've used them on strings before, and they have buttons in the front where you can adjust the polar pattern, which is a whole nother video. You can Google that too and find the answers to that. But I love these microphones. If I had to survive in my studio with one microphone, this is the one I would choose because I can literally use it on anything. I decided to use these because the way that I'm going to show you that I position them, it's easy with the polar patterns engaged to cancel the sound out from one another. And that way you're never going to get total isolation when you're doing something totally live with two mics, but you get better isolation because of that. Next thing I use is a direct box. That's going to allow me to take 1/4-inch cable out of my guitar into here and an XLR cable out of here into my audio interface. And why would you want to do that? Because XLR cables are a more balanced signal, and in the audio world, that's what we want. Now that we know what we're using, let's get everything positioned and set up. Okay, here we are. I know my head's a little bit cut off, but I want you to be able to see the microphones. So I have microphone 1 plugged in for my vocals, and microphone 2 plugged in for the guitar. Now the goal here is to try to get the guitar as close to this microphone as possible. It's gonna make the acoustic sound a little bit woofy sounding because it's so close. Normally I would not mic a guitar this close, but because I'm trying to isolate the guitar as much as possible and not pick up the vocal bleed, you have to do it this way, and the direct box helps that because you're gonna get another signal from the guitar, and I'll show you that in Pro Tools. And the microphone as well, you want to be able to be super close to it. Now, after I recorded this video, a producer friend of mine said, "Why do you have that horrible pop screen on there? It's terrible." Well, it's because it's the only one I had. But I since have ordered this small one. So let's put that on now and see how much nicer it probably looks. Oh my goodness, look how much better this looks. And you can actually see my mouth when I'm singing very close to it as opposed to this thing, which is enormous. Thanks to my friend Don Sternecker for recommending that I get rid of this. So now I can even bring this closer to me because the pop screen is out of the way, and I can get real close to this microphone, which is great because the closer I can get my voice to this, the farther away my guitar is going to be, and that's going to help with the isolation. Okay, so I've got my 2 microphones here, and I've got my guitar plugged into my direct box, and I'm going to take you now into the other room where I have my computer set up and show you how it's all wired into Pro Tools. Okay, here's our microphone setup. So you can see the bottom mic is tilted down, so be towards the guitar, and then the top microphone is sort of tilted towards my voice. And you can see that if you look at them side by side, they're kind of in line, so they're going to cancel each other out as best as possible. So then I've got my acoustic guitar plus these 2 microphones plugged in over here. Guitar into the direct box into my Studio Snake, because I have microphone 1, microphone 2, and then direct box here. So I can't use just a 2-channel audio interface, which is great for beginnings. I am using the Apollo X8P. And you don't have to have a big interface like this to start. The only reason I have it is because I like to record full drums in my studio when possible. I've recorded strings, and it's just nice to have extra inputs. But when you're starting out, you definitely don't need all of that. But that's what I use. So let's get into Pro Tools. Okay, now we're in Pro Tools, and I'm going to play the vocal mic, the guitar mic, and the direct input from the direct box all at once, so you can hear what that sounds like together.
Pay the toll to the angels, drawn circles in the clouds.
Okay, so that's all things at once. Now if I just wanted to hear the vocal by itself, so you get kind of an idea of what that's going to sound like, I'm going to take you to the pre-chorus. Now this is just the vocal microphone.
Like a poem said by a lady in red, you hear the last few words of your life.
So you can hear that the guitar is still there, but it's very faint. You're mostly hearing the vocal. This type of technique, you're never going to get total isolation, but I think it's not, honestly, and this is my first time trying this, so I don't think it sounds too bad. Okay, so now if we just wanted to hear what it sounds like with the guitar microphone, just the microphone. Here's the chorus. So you can still hear the vocal in the background, but you're hearing the guitar more prominently. Now if I add in the direct box to that, so you can hear those things together. If I take out the microphone, you can hear that it sounds really trebly, right? Now I add this other microphone in for the guitar, and you get that bottom end sound. And then everything together.
Hold me in your heart tonight in the magic of the dark moonlight.
So you can see it's not total isolation, but it's a way for you to record a live performance, and I have everything split enough. Like you can see in the screen here, I've got some EQ, I've got a little bit of compression. I didn't even put any, I'm realizing now I didn't put any compression on the guitar, which I normally would do, but I wasn't trying to make this a mixing project. I was trying to make this like, how do I record this and get something that sounds decent and with the video that's going to look good on my YouTube channel. So, you know, always a work in progress. So that's how I recorded my stripped down acoustic version of Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.